Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Mercedes. In today's video, I have two collections to share with you all from KB Shimmer. One is the Mix It Up collection and the other one is Seeing is Believing. The great thing about KB Shimmer is that they keep a lot of their polishes on their website for a while. So you have the option to really think about what you want to get. If you see a swatch video from, I don't know, months ago, more likely than not, like, you're going to be able to still purchase those polishes. If you're just starting to get into indie polishes, I feel like KB Shimmer is an amazing brand to start exploring. Their brushes are amazing, the formula is so easy to work with, and the price point is spot on. I have a lot of polishes to share, so let's get into it. First up, we have the namesake of the collection, and this is the Mix It Up, and it's described as an electric pink cream. It leans more on the redder side, more like watermelon than bubblegum. It's definitely like a hot pink shade. This one was super tough to capture on camera just because it's neon, it's bright. Usually all neons and bright shades, colors are really hard to capture the accuracy when filming, and then just, you know, in photos generally. On the website, on the KB Shimmer website, you'll see the photos. They definitely lean more on the pinkish side. You can see as I'm polishing though that pink is coming through, so just keep in mind it's a tad more like pinkish red than what you're seeing on here. I ended up doing 3 coats just because on the second coat I felt like it was a little bit patchy, and I wanted to smooth everything out. So I think just depending on your polishing technique and what you prefer, I'm going to say 2 to 3 coats. I was fine with 3 coats. I probably could have done 2 coats if I was a little more careful, but I was happy with 3 coats. The formula wasn't too thick, so it was easy to work with. But see how bright and bold? Just imagine it just slightly more pink with reddish undertones. So that's 3 coats of a Mix It Up. Next up, we have Let's Bounce, and this one is described as a vivid chartreuse color. It is in between like a neon yellow, and electric lime. So this is definitely a bright shade. We're still in August, we're still in the hot summer months, even into September. I know in some areas you still get hot weather. Up here in New England, we don't really see fall weather until like the end of September, beginning of November, sometimes mid-November. Sometimes we get really hot days in September. But anyways, this polish is more on the crullier side. On the website it says crully slash jelly, but to me I feel like this is definitely leaning more crully. Now I did do 3 coats just because of the consistency of the polish. I wasn't surprised that I needed 3 coats anyways, just because these sorts of colors, usually yellowish polishes, need that 3rd coat just to reach opacity. The formula was easy to work with. It wasn't runny or anything like that. How beautiful would this look if you did this as like a base and then you added like a flaky topper that had like orangey sort of leafy like vibes? I think it would look stunning. So there's 3 coats of Let's Bounce. Here we have To The Max, and this one is described as a cornflower cream polish, and it leans more periwinkle. It's definitely vibrant. I feel like it is a beautiful bright blue shade, but it also has this sort of dusty vibe to it. It gives me Sally Hansen Pacific Blue vibes. If you've been in the nail polish community for a while, if you're an OG nail polish collector, you're gonna know Sally Hansen Pacific Blue. That was just the polish, and ever since that blue polish came out, I've been obsessed with those sorts of like blue polishes in that color family, and this just reminds me of it. I ended up building this one up in 2 coats. I think long or short nails, 2 to 3 coats is going to work best for you. You're going to see when I polish on the 2nd coat on my other finger that it looks a little more thick. That was just me not waiting for the polish to completely dry on that 1st coat. The formula for this polish was amazing. The consistency was great. I'm going to recommend 2 to 3 coats, like I said, just depending on your nail line. Even though this is a pretty like opaque blue shade, I feel like the formula was still on the thinner side. Not thin like in a bad way where it was watery and like messy, just thinner than what I would normally see for a cream polish, but like I said, not in a bad way. But I was obsessed with this shade of blue. It is so pretty. So you're seeing 2 coats of To The Max right here. Here we have Roll On By, and this one is described as a cream polish, and it is literally the perfect blend of green and blue together. I also love these sorts of colors, these sorts of shades. I have lots and lots of blues and greens in my collection. Sometimes, you know, putting them away, I'm like, is this really green or is this really blue? I'm not doing a teal drawer. I'm not going to do that to myself. It will be too much work. But anyways, obsessed with this color. You can see the formula. Look how easily everything just glides on the cream polish. I feel like it's so bouncy. I feel like a lot of the polishes in this collection are, you know, if it's described as cream, I feel like I guess they do like lean more on the curlier side, but they just give off that bouncy vibe, that bouncy edge, where you get like this nice plump juicy look. And I love that when you have cream polishes. I love when the formula is smooth and creamy and you get this beautiful bouncy sort of look. Obsessed with this color. I love teals. So you're seeing here 2 coats of Roll On By. I'm gonna recommend 2 coats for everybody for this polish. The formula was amazing. This is Totally Outrageous, and this one is described as a neon red orange. And man, is this bright and bold and like in your face. Again, another polish that isn't accurately captured on camera just because of how bright it is. It definitely is more on the like coral, what the heck am I saying? More on the coral side. I was trying to say like corally. It's definitely more on the coral side. So you're seeing a lot of orange, but there's definitely a little more pink in there. There's some beautiful pictures up on the KB Shimmer website so you can get a better reference. But just looking at the formula on this live swatch, perfection. I'm gonna recommend 2 coats for everybody. You get that beautiful, juicy, plump look. I'm obsessed. This would be another beautiful polish to wear as a base, and then put like a sparkly topper, like a flaky topper over it. It would look so good. So you're seeing here 2 coats of Totally Outrageous. Here we have Net Gains, and this one is described as a violet leaning purple cream. Now this one is very bright and bold. I feel like purples, like I don't think I've ever seen like a neon purple or like a true neon purple. I honestly don't know if you can actually do that. I know Orly did a great job with Synthetic Symphony, which is sadly discontinued, but even that wasn't like neon. It was more on the bright side. But this is just as bright and bold, and I thought it was beautiful. I think it was very easy to work with. I achieved opacity in 2 coats. I feel like maybe I could have done a 3rd coat just to hide any little small bald patches that I feel like I'm looking at, but it could just be all of the bright lights and just my angle of recording. But here on the solo finger swatch, you can see that this is just 2 coats and there's no balding or patchiness or anything like that. So I think it was just my camera angle, but I think 2 coats is wonderful. It definitely is a true cream polish. It has a nice juicy, bold, bouncy look, which you know I love, but very bright, very fun. I feel like this could take you into the fall as well, especially around Halloween time. This would be amazing for, you know, maybe some sort of Halloween inspired manicure, or if, you know, used it as a base and use some sort of like fun Halloween topper. Here is the topper of the collection. This is called Scratch That, and it's a mix of black shreds, dots, mini stars, hex glitters. It's supposed to be inspired by like well-worn notebooks, which I thought was really cute. So you can see it here over Net Gains, just 1 coat. I'm zooming you guys in. I'm also going to show it over Totally Outrageous and then Roll On. And you can see a good amount of the topper components do come out. You get the stars, you get the squares, the hex glitters, all of that. So very fun topper. Now let's show it over Roll On. So just 1 coat. If you did 2 coats, you definitely get more coverage, but I like how you get every sort of component when you do swipe it on, because sometimes with toppers that have multiple different like glitters and shapes and, you know, different components, you may not always get each component on the nail, but I feel like with this one you definitely do. So you see that one coat onto the max, and then we have Mix It Up and then Let's Bounce. I loved the way this topper looked on Mix It Up. I just feel like it was very contrasting, and I don't know, something about that nice pink base with the black topper looked really nice. And then of course on Let's Bounce, it's even more contrasting. It looks so cool, even for something like for Halloween. I think that would look amazing. So there you have it. Now we're moving on to the Summer Vibes collection, and even though it's labeled as Summer Vibes, I feel like we have some good ones to help us transition into the fall as well. This one is called Swim Pickings, and it's described as a vibrant ultramarine jelly. It has these gorgeous color shifting flakies that shift from pink, gold, green, blue, and aqua, and there's a dusting of a micro holographic glitters as well. There goes my kid screaming downstairs. It never ends, I'm telling you. I built this one up in 2 coats. I think long or short nails, 2 to 3 coats will work best for you just because of the jelly-like consistency. I love the different shapes and sizes that we're seeing here for these color shifting flakies. It just reminds me of an ocean in a cartoon, and you're looking down and you're seeing through the ocean floor and just seeing all different colors of like the coral and just everything. This is such a fun polish. I definitely would wear this one year round. I feel like it's definitely all season appropriate. So there we have 2 coats of Swim Pickings. Next up, we have one in a melon, and this one is described as a vibrant neon pink jelly. It also is loaded with these beautiful glowy shifty flakies. They shift from lime to coral to pink. You see some yellow, gold, and orange in there as well. This one has a similar consistency to the previous polish we just saw. It's definitely on the more squishier end, so I'm going to recommend 2 to 3 coats for everybody, depending on your nail line, your preference, and what you like. You can see on the second coat that color really built up. That base color is building up. The flakies are not as, they don't stand out as much as the previous polish, right? Just because they sort of blend in. They're more like glass-like against this color base, but I think it looks gorgeous. It gives you that sort of pond effect. And this is such a fun color. It is gorgeous. We have 2 coats of one in a melon right here. Next up, we have Aim to Breeze, and this one is described as a vibrant magenta jelly. It has this stunning bold blue shimmer that adds this beautiful glow that we all know so well with these sorts of like pink blue glowy polishes. This one was so pretty, so pretty. I've been loving like blue shimmer, blue glowy, blue aurora shimmer in polishes, and I'm loving this one. The formula was fantastic. I built it up in 2 coats. I'm gonna say 2 to 3 coats, just depending on nail line preferences and all of that. But you can see here the formula was fantastic, and the 2 coats was just perfect on my shorter nails. But we are seeing tons and tons of intense shifts. I know it kind of looks a little streaky on the close-ups, but in real life, I feel like, you know, you're not gonna be having your hand all up in your face or not as close. So those streaks really aren't that noticeable when you have it on as like a full mani, and you know you're not surrounded by bright lights and a zoomed in camera. But this is a stunning polish. The glow factor is there. It is glowy. I love how bright it is. I feel like this is something I need to wear now and on my toes. I actually need a pedicure. I'm not really liking the color on my toes right now, so I might just switch it up to this one. So we're looking at 2 coats of Aim to Breeze. Here we have That's My Jam, and this one is described as a vibrant berry polish. Now it doesn't say that it has like a pink shimmer, but it does say that it is sort of like an orange leaning polish, or an orange leaning like berry reddish shade. I see a beautiful like pink fuchsia shimmer just running all throughout. Very fine, very finely milled. The formula was perfect. Just 2 coats on my shorter nails. I think 2 to 3 coats on everybody, depending, you know, polishing and all of that. Like I always say, we'll be fine, but the formula really was great. There's just something about this polish that just illuminates from within, and it has like, now that I'm looking at it even more better, I feel like we have some pink shifting shimmer and maybe like a more finely milled red shimmer, and then that berry base. It's a very pretty polish. This is something that you can wear all year round, and the formula was great. You'd think with this sort of finish like this, it's not necessarily like metallic, but it's not cream and it's not crelly, it's kind of somewhere in between, and sometimes those sorts of polishes leave streaks on the nails, but this one didn't. It was really great to work with, and a beautiful color. So we have 2 coats of That's My Jam. Here we have Bucket List, and this one is described as a deep indigo jelly base loaded with beautiful micro flakies. You see pink, you see yellow, you see like a limey green sort of shade. I love this one. If you love purple, you're going to love this as well. The formula was fantastic. It just sparkles and glints, and it's fantastic. I built it up in 2 coats. I think 2 to 3 coats will work best for everybody. Looking back now, I probably could have done a 3rd coat, but I was happy at the time with the 2 coats. Everything just flows so well together. The flakies are so jam-packed in here, but nothing looks out of place. And we get so many different shifts. I love it. It's a beautiful polish. Definitely something for, you know, warmer weather like now, and then definitely into the fall when we're getting into our spooky season. I love Halloween. I love everything spooky, so I'm very excited for that season to come back around. So here we have 2 coats of Bucket List. Here we have Give Me the Scoop, and this one is described as a lavender shade, so a lavender base with pink leaning red shimmer that shifts to a peach copper. It has lots of gold tones as well, and then of course you see your purple hues and tones. This one was so pretty. Look how sparkly it is. Can you tell I love sparkly things? Formula again was great to work with. I really think if you're new to the indie world, KB Shimmer is a great polish, great company to start off with, just because they have a great brush. Their formula is always consistent and so easy to work with. I'm going to recommend 2 to 3 coats for everybody on this one. I love how we're seeing so many different variations of polishes in this collection. I feel like there's something for everybody, and like I said, I feel like there's something for now and then something for the colder weather as well. So here we're looking at 2 coats of Give Me the Scoop. Here we have What a Catch, and this one is a teal green. We have gold and peach that shifts in this beautiful base. We're seeing hollow flakies in here as well. This one, beautiful. I love polishes in this sort of form. I'm a big fan of hollow flakies. I love blue polish. I love green polish. So of course I'm going to be in love with this one. I usually tend to steer away from polishes that have some sort of like gold shift to them. Just, I don't know, it never really tickled my fancy. It just has to be placed strategically and with certain components that I enjoy. And I can say that I enjoy the base color for this, the hollow flakies. So the gold, the yellowish gold copper that's in here, I'm okay with. I think everything flows well. This is stunning. I'm going to recommend 2 to 3 coats for everybody. So we're looking at 2 coats of What a Catch. Of course, we need a yellow polish in the collection. This is simply the Zest. This one is described as a vibrant yellow leaning chartreuse. You have lots of shifting shimmer, from yellow to lime to gold, and then we have our beautiful hollow flakies in here as well. This was a fantastic formula for our yellow polish. You can see, like, just on that first coat, we got pretty good payoff with coverage, and even on the second coat, like, wow, very impressed. And even though I feel like this leans a little on the warmer side, it still doesn't give me that ugly yellow nail look. It's more like a nice sunshiny yellow with a beautiful glow. The hollow flakies just sparkle in here. I love that touch of like peachy sort of shift that you see in the center, and then around like the perimeters of the nails, it gives this yellow polish more of a, definitely more of a warmer toned look, but it just makes it a little special, and I really like that. I think it adds a great touch to this polish. So we're looking at 2 coats of Simply the Zest. I want to like sing it, but I'm not. And the final polish is Stick With Me, and this one is described as a soft pink base. You have lots of gold tones. It leans definitely more coral. We have some shifts of orange and lime. This is very different, and really I'm so surprised to say that I really do like this one. Usually peach tones like this, I just, nope, it doesn't work for me, but I really enjoyed this one, and I think it's all those gorgeous shifts that we see in here. The formula was fantastic. I'm going to say 2 to 3 coats for everybody, but I love how we have this more softer pink base, but it still leans like corally / orange, and I think that's why I really do like it, because I do love orange polish, and there's definitely like a hint of orange in here, and then just the gold, everything blends in well. That yellow, I really enjoyed this one. So you're looking at 2 coats of Stick With Me. All right, everybody, that is all that I have for you today. Let me know if you picked up any of these polishes already, or if you were thinking about them and now you're like, you know what, this is my sign to go pick them up. Thank you again, and I'll see you in my next one.